Hey everybody, welcome to Massimo Motivation. My name is Christopher Massimo. I'm the owner of Massimo Motivation, and today we're going to talk about how your brain should actually be thought of as a muscle. And I'm going to dedicate this video to one of my Patreons, Just Plain Dan, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, again, this is Massimo Motivation and my name is Christopher Massimo. I'm really excited to talk about this topic today, genuinely, because this is essentially what my first business, Massimo Motivation, is all about. I'm also the owner of Avanti Counseling and Consulting, but that's a totally different thing. Massimo Motivation is all about combining mind and muscle and understanding that any goal that you have in your life is going to incorporate both to some degree. Let's talk about how mind and muscle are the same. So first of all, think about a muscle. How does a muscle grow? The first thing that you do to grow a muscle is you break it down. The second thing that you do is you give it what it needs to heal, the right food, the right nutrition, the right rest, and then you give it time and you give it consistency. And that's it. That's how you build any type of muscle. Bicep, core, legs, doesn't matter. You break it down, you tear it, you feed it, you rest it, heal it, give it time, you do it again. That's it. But your brain really isn't that different. So let's start off with the first part, right? So what do you do to break down your brain? We know what you do to break down your muscles. You go and you lift the body part, or you do the movement that tears the particular part of your body that you want to grow, right? That's not rocket science. It can become more sciencey, but in general, it's not rocket science. Show up, lift the thing, lift it hard, tear the muscle, heal it, move on. But your brain's a little bit different. It's a little bit trickier. There's more components to it, right? It's harder for us to study and the like. But what we do know is that the things of your brain that you need to improve, you can improve through the right products and the right tasks. Now, for most people, I think this comes with the prefrontal cortex. Now, the prefrontal cortex is basically logical thinking. It's the thing that gets turned off when we drink too much, right? So it's the forebrain. Now, your brain develops from back to front, okay, over time, and it usually ends development around age 25. But that doesn't mean you can't grow your ability to increase the efficiency, is probably a good word for it, of the pathways in the brain even after full brain development. So this is like doing memory games in your 50s, right? Increasing your capacity to have short-term working memory and long-term memory. There are things you can do and tasks you can do. Now, for most people, the thing you need to understand about your brain is you're going to want to break down that prefrontal cortex, probably first and foremost if you're watching this video, because I doubt a 15-year-old is watching this video right now. Most people who are going to be watching this are probably going to be in their mid-20s or later. And you, right now, need to make sure that you take care of that part of your brain, because it's going to dictate most of your decision-making with your career, your finances, and your relationships. Okay, so how do we do that? The first thing that you can do is you can sit down and you can write out all the things, the thoughts, the patterns, the themes that you have in your life that you tend to think about. So these are the things that, think of it like a funnel. Something happens in your life, you have a decision to make, and there's a point, at some point in that funnel, there's a break, and there you have to make a decision. And typically there are philosophies or themes that we have in our life that we think about that help to dictate the path that we then take. You know, everybody's against me, or there's no way I can get ahead, or you know, men are terrible. Whatever it is, whatever that thought is that you have a lot, it's typically going to break that decision making one way or the other. So you can sit down and you can write this out. So that's how you break down your mind. You break it down metaphorically into component parts so you can work with it. The next thing that you do is you heal it, right? So we talked about with the muscle. So now you take that breakdown, okay, and you say, where's that stemming from? Like, where did I get that? Is it past relationships that made me think men are horrible? Is it watching my parents grow up? What is it about that created this theme? And now what can I do to challenge it? Where can I find examples of that not being true? So now we're working to heal. We've identified, we've broke it down, and now we're working to heal. We're working to feed it what it needs. It needs new positive examples, contrary examples to what you've experienced in your life. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 is we want to consistently do this. We want to feed this over and over and over again. So the next time you run into a dating situation or any type of situation that's related to your particular theme, you do it again. You break it down. How am I doing it again? Is it just like the other time? If it's not, why not? And then you work to heal it. And you just do this process over and over and over again with intention and with enough time. And just like a muscle, you'll begin to grow it. you'll get much better and much faster at breaking down your life and making decisions. And it really doesn't have to be that complicated. Like, don't make it complicated. I talk a lot on this channel about how success doesn't have to be complicated. It can be very simple, but very difficult. So take it serious because it's difficult, but don't make it more than it is. Sit down, write them out, figure them out, break them down, right? And then work to heal them. So I hope that this was a helpful video to you. If you can think of your mind like a muscle, I promise you, you can grow. It doesn't just have to be the prefrontal cortex, although I think for most people in their 20s and beyond, that's probably where most of their problems are coming from, bad decision making. But there's also working memory. There's also the amygdala. There's other parts of the brain. But really that prefrontal cortex, I think, is most people's downfall. So if this was helpful for you, hit that subscription button, of course, hit that like button. Let me know what you want me to talk about. I'm a big fan of talking about mind and muscle, but I'm also now a big fan, if you've been following the channel, about talking about law, because I'm in law school. So if there's anything along those lines that you want me to talk about, I'd be happy to do that, but I have to know what you want. So leave that in the comments below, and again, hit that subscription button, and remember, mind, muscle, maximize. So happy. I was telling my girlfriend the other day, I'm like, I don't really want anything else. Like, I have my Xbox, you know, I have the 4K 120 hertz TV. I'm like, I'm good. Like, give me a gym, give me a job that I enjoy, and give me my 120 hertz, and give me you, of course, of course, and then we're good.